Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear friends, Vaishnavas, thank you for joining. We will read today Krishna Katha, of course, and there's a beautiful class in the form of an article entitled Egoism and Lethargy by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So it's not too lengthy, so I think we can cover it today, and we can read a few paragraphs each. So I can begin. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada has told us that the culmination of all our preaching in Krishna consciousness is to induce people to wholeheartedly chant the holy names of Krishna. The chanting of the holy names must continue. Srila Prabhupada said, we can do without temples, we can do without everything. We don't need money. If we can get it, we will use it. We don't need property. If we get it, we will use it. We don't need vehicles. If we get it, we will use it. If we don't need good PR, public relations. If we get it, we will use it. But one thing at all times, we always need for our spiritual survival, and that is the association of devotees and the regular chanting of the holy names. If we lose either of these two principles, which are actually one in essence, then we lose our connection to Krishna. Two principles, sadhu sangha, nam kirtan, chanting and sadhu sangha. In this age of Kali, there are two deadly enemies that are always about to devour all the sanctity of our spiritual lives: egoism and lethargy. Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita that we must give up egoism and lethargy. Wherever the false ego becomes prominent, we start thinking in terms of I and mine. Then there is no service attitude. We want to be master. We want to be enjoyer. We even see other Vaishnavas, even our old god brothers and god sisters, as competitors rather than worshipable lords. We should see every Vaishnava with veneration. They should be objects of our worship. But when there is egoism, we start to see Vaishnavas as ordinary people. When the desire for our own prestige and enjoyment comes too much into our mind, then even great Vaishnavas appear to be insignificant. However, when there is a humble service attitude, even the most ordinary new beginning devotee, we see as someone very glorious and worthy of our respect. Wow. This is one of the barometers by which we can understand how we are progressing. This is very powerful. What do you think, bro, so far?
Very insightful, Prabhuji. Very realistic and very helpful for progressing, if I can follow, to progress in the spiritual life. So the most two important thing, as you said, that association of devotees and chanting. That is a pillar of our Krishna consciousness. Everything else helps us these two activities. And as long as our ego is prominent, then our service attitude will go down.
Mm,
But when we are humble, then we can take up any service and ultimately we'll be able to do the pure chanting.
and that's what Lord Chaitanya says, right? Kirtanya Sadahari. When there is humility, then only we can see. I really like this point. Seeing even the ordinary new beginning devotee as very glorious. That's what Prabhupada also did, right? When he came to US, although they were externally hippies, but Prabhupada saw them very glorious and offering respects to as if they're great Paramhamsas. Because seeing that spark, and later they all became pure Vaishnavas. So seeing that, even in the story of Dhruva, it is mentioned that how Dhruva's mother, stepmother, so Ruchi, did not see Dhruva as Vaishnava, and then she offended, and later she had to face the consequences. So basically, seeing everyone with veneration, wow, with a lot of respect. And when we do that, we will not take them ordinary or cheaply or take it for granted. Maybe you can read next one or two paragraphs.
Hare Krishna, Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Due to egoism, everyone thinks I can judge others. I am right, you are wrong. If you stand between me and my aspirations of profit, adoration, and distinction, then you become my enemy. Where there is disunity amongst devotees, there cannot be proper Sankirtan. We cannot chant together in the proper spirit to please Krishna. We cannot serve together. When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saw his own devotees fighting amongst themselves, he was willing to sacrifice everything and anything he had to bring about unity, because he knew that unity alone would empower his movement to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and thus fulfill his mission. For Srila Prabhupada also, that was great Ori. Show your love for me by how you cooperate. This cooperation is not an ordinary metal formula. You cannot cooperate unless you are really trying to follow the essence of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Without wearing this shloka around our necks, strung by the holy name, Trinadavi Shunichano Tarapi Shoishnina Amanina Mandana Krittana Sadahuri. There can be no real cooperation unless we are striving to be really humble devotees, putting aside this egoism, trample it down. Very, very strong mm, statement. Yes, so egoism can destroy the unity, the friendship, everything, not in the devotee community, even in the family. So as long as you don't see others as a Vaishnava and ready to serve, and otherwise, as Bhakti Thakur Prabhupada always mentioning, stay in unity and serve the devotees and Krishna. So that is the way we can serve Mahaprabhu. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Lakshya Prabhu, Baba Prabhu, you have any comments?
No, Pooja, I don't have any comments.
Okay, then maybe you can read the next part.
Okay. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Is it that one, Pooja?
Yes.
Okay. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the desire for enjoyment, prestige, we must take the broom of the holy name, the broom of Vaishnava etiquette. We must sweep it out of our hearts hundreds of thousands of times every day because it keeps coming back. because it keeps coming back in. He said, you are delivered by Krishna the very day you are free from the desire for prestige. That is the day you will go back to Godhead, not until then. So this egoism is very prominent in Kali Yuga. Kali is trying to destroy everything sacred from inside out. We must be on guard at all times, to not be judgmental or make offenses, to be cooperative and eager to serve, eager to uplift, eager to encourage, eager to sacrifice for the benefit of other devotees. Lethargy
Just the
means
next topic, maybe we can take some thoughts.
okay.
So this is about egoism. Please tell.
In these two paragraphs, I understood that like the Kali Yuga is like personality kind of. So Kali is trying to destroy like Dharma and everything sacred, and we must like try to keep like all of our egoism and like wanting to have prestige. We should like not have that, and like the second we don't have that, we'll be delivered by Krishna.
Beautiful. I was hearing a class, a short class by His Grace Vishishika Prabhu. He was giving this example that one time he was traveling. He was traveling, and this airports, some security checks and stuff like that. So there are different kinds of checks. So one time he was traveling, and there was an airport, and the airport had this security checks. So the security checks, there was a green light, there was a red light, and then there was a green light. Two doors were there. Right? And let's say a person is there, right? Someone is passing through. Now, red and green, very obvious. If they have something which is suspicious, which they need to pay taxes or something which they're not allowed, guess what? The green door, the red door, right? They will have to go in here, and maybe, they'll have to pay some taxes, some fine, something like it. That means you have something which is not, you're not supposed to have. But if it's free and clear, one can easily pass through this door, right? We all have faced these situations in some way or the other. But it was a beautiful lesson. And what is that one thing? So even on the doors, like in the country, in another country we are going, we have these check process. So even for going back home, back to Godhead, what is that one thing which we cannot, if we have that, we can't, this door is basically like you won't, until you're free and clear, you can't go. Because this door is like for people who are basically sometimes turned back. Hey, you don't have proper visa, you don't have proper permission, you have something you're not supposed to have. So what that one thing is ego, right? So if we have that ego, as mentioned in this class also, in this lecture. If we go back, right? We must be always on guard. I'm going to share that. The day you are free from desire, ego, desire for prestige, that's basically ego, right? People should respect me. Oh, I'm a senior Vaishnava. Oh, I have been in ISKCON for 10 years. Oh, I sing very nice. Oh, I cook very nice. Oh, I give more donation. Oh, I am very scholarly. Oh, I know more verses. Any kind of respect, even any kind of recognition. That's basically, that's something which will keep us here. We'll not be able to go until then to the kingdom of God, until we are free from this uh, abhimana. Abhimana shunya nitai nagare vidai, right? Remember that word bhajan? Abhimana shunya nitai nagare vidai. Jare dekho tare kohe dante trinadhari. Amara kiniyalo bhalo bhajagoraham. That's ego. Very, very prominent in Kali Yuga. And it's not about someone, it's about me. It's not about someone else's. It's about my story. So this, all these words, all this, cooperation, giving others respect. And this is how we can love Prabhupada. This is how we can show love towards Guru. You have to trample it down. So many nice lessons. You can read it over and over again. It's not so lengthy either. Any other thoughts on the ego part before we move to the lethargy part? Any comments on ego?
It is very hard to control, but as you said, trample it down, hammering, reading like this type of beautiful articles will remind us about our true positions. And as a devotee, follow up the Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that must has to be done.
Right. It says every day, thousands of times, every day we must sweep because it will come back, like the heads of Ravana. Kill one time we trample it down, oops, boom, it comes again, right? So it's a continuous process for everyone. Okay, let's move to the next part. Lethargy means laziness. We don't want to chant, we don't want to read, or even if we chant lazily. We let our mind just slope along. It's our natural patterns for thoughts. Sounds just like me. Recently, we were in the ocean near Udupi, and it is easy to just float on the water, on the ocean, and just the waves just take you wherever you go. I'm sure some of us may have experienced like in sometime in the pool they have like a lazy river, right? Just float and the river will take you, or the ocean will just keep floating. So it's very relaxing, so relaxing. There's nothing more relaxing than just floating in the ocean, except in Jagannath Puri. You can't float. If you try to float, you'll get crushed. But in Udupi, you can float. And similarly, it is very relaxing to chant our japa and let our mind just coast along upon the waves of Maya and illusion. Wow, that's so powerful. It's very relaxing to chant our japa and let our minds just coast along the waves of Maya and illusion, thinking of this, thinking of that, and everything else. And meanwhile, our mouths are moving, and everyone in the temple is thinking, oh, wow, what a strict devotee, very strict devotee. He's chanting so nicely. But we cannot deceive Krishna. We cannot be lazy. We have to keep bringing our minds back to Harinam. We have to come to satsang. We may not like it. It may be inconvenient, but we need to hear and chant in the association of devotees. It is easy to talk different types of village talks when we have free time. but we should pick the books and read this or discuss Hari Katha. We have to be awake and on guard. The chanting of the holy names and serving Vaishnavas is our basis. Wow, powerful. Lethargy. So let the mind can, it's so easy to read and to hear, but it happens all the time with me. So focusing on Hari Katha, focusing on bringing the mind back. Try to bring the mind back, not just coast on the, so beautiful, not just coast, what was that? Yeah, coast upon the waves of Maya and illusion. Wow. And mouth is saying Hare Krishna, but mind is thinking about Maya, illusion, something. Okay, I'll read. Yes, Prabhu, you want to read?
Here, Prabhuji. Egoism and laziness is our downfall. Where there is egoism and laziness, there is also lust, anger, envy, pride, greed, and illusion, and so much envy. In Kali Yoga, either you fill your mind with Krishna or your mind gets filled with Maya. There is no in between. But somehow or other, we are here at this time. But there is one benediction. If we just remain united and keep up this principle of sincerely chanting Harinam and hearing Harikatha in a spirit of servitude, Krishna will empower us to overcome all the impediments of Kali. But we cannot do it only by ourselves. We should see that we need each other. Srila Prabhupada was so gracious. He saw every disciple as the representative of his spiritual master. He would say that my Guru Maharaj has sent all of you to help me to fulfill his mission. And he was so grateful. Therefore, even if one of his disciples fell into abominable activities, although he understood what is what, still that love and gratitude was always there, prominent in his heart. Not condemning, but praying to Krishna, please bring him back. He has done so much. So if that is the way Srila Prabhupada saw each of his devotees, how much we should appreciate. So heart-touching article here. So a lot of learning for me that even little bits or not little bit, Prabhupada disciples are great, and even some disciples fall down, but Prabhupada appreciating whatever service he did, and for that Prabhupada had a lot of gratitude and asking Krishna to reward him by bringing him back, not like like uh, ignoring or what to say that abandoning him. So, and as Maharaj said that egoism and laziness is our downfall. Yes, and that brings everything, all other shortfalls and our downfall qualities. And as we say that either you serve Krishna or Maya. So, but to serve Krishna, our two main strong components are chanting, association. And we serve chanting, we serve devotees, and then the association will be strong, and we'll get the strength, the spirit from each other. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Lakshay, Prabhu, do you have any thoughts, reflections here? Prabhupada is showing so much gratitude to all his new people, like that. It's not that, oh, I have come to save you, I have come to help you, I will deliver you. No, I am great, you are following. No, which actually is the truth, right? Prabhupada is a great Mahajan. He has come to, why he has gone all the way to deliver the whole world. But no, this movement is that you are helping me by engaging me in your service so that I can please my Guru. My Guru Maharaj is sentient. So this is the mood. Every disciple as representative of his Guru. Prabhu, that's the real meaning of Prabhu. Please bring him back. He has done so much for Krishna. Praying for Krishna. This is Prabhupada's mood. Yes, Lakshmi, Prabhu, you want to read? These days, there is so much confusion, conflict, rivalry, deviation right within every religious institution, including ISKCON. But that should not discourage us because we are not concerned with deviation. We are concerned with the essence, with the real thing. As long as we have the holy names, as long as we have Srila Prabhupada's books, as long as we have simple, sincere, humble devotees who want to serve, who want to chant, who want to dance, then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So please be strong. Guard against egoism. Guard against offenses to Vaishnavas. Guard against laziness. In the basic principles of sadhana, if you do Mahaprabhu's and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, if you do by Mahaprabhu's and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, you are guaranteed to go back home, back to Godhead. Wow. So see, these are just the simple principles. Holy name, association of devotees, reading Prabhupada's books, be simple, sincere, humble. You have good association. That's pretty much it. Take Krishna Prasad. Don't offend devotees. Don't feel proud of anything. What is there to be proud of anyways? Everything we have is a blessing of Guru and Krishna. We brought nothing with us. We'll take nothing with us. Guard against laziness. This is the mood of Prabhupada. And yes, mercy is there and guaranteed. Mercy is there. People say, oh, give me mercy. Bhagwan ki kripa. Bhagwan ki kripa is there. If we follow all these things, then mercy will be there. And guaranteed one will go back home, back to God. Their mercy is causeless. If we simply are sincere, and then can make up for all our deficiencies. Very important. We may have deficiencies. Oh, I don't know how to recite verses. Oh, I don't know. I'm not used to getting up in the morning. Oh, I have a bad past. I used to eat this. I used to follow that. Whatever I did something wrong. I used to, whatever past deficiencies may be there. But if you're simply sincere, then we can make up for all our deficiencies, and they will. So please take this very seriously every day for the rest of our lives. Never give up the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. It is the greatest loss. Know your real wealth to be humility and sincerity with which you serve and chant the holy names. Wow, this is real wealth. Humility and sincerity by which we serve and chant. One of our greatest acharyas explained that one speck of dust of Srila Prabhupada has the power to deliver the entire universe. One single speck of dust of Srila Gurudev has the strength to deliver tens and crores of people, and all the knowledge in the universities, and all the reasonings of the philosophers, and all the wealth of the industrialists, and the politics of the politicians, all multiplied together, does not equal even a fraction of the weight of one speck of dust from the lotus feet of the previous acharyas. Wow. So all the wealth, all the knowledge, all the politics, or whatever people may aspire for does not equal one speck of dust from Sri Guru's previous acharyas. This is the statement that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati made about Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. We can make the same statement about Srila Prabhupada in all the Guru Varga. Therefore, it is my most honored duty in life to sprinkle those particles of dust wherever we go by our behavior. Wow. It is my most honored duty in life to sprinkle those particles of dust wherever we go by our behavior and by our sincerity, and wish we pray for the benefit of others and chant the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I thank you very much. Om Sat Sat. Wow, this is heavy, but bhakti is, this is real stuff. Any thoughts?
So
Comments?
Prabhuji, we will share this in the group so we can read few more times with the family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, more is very simple. The way he preaches, he lives his life. Like when I was in the Alacho temple, I went with Biraj Binak and Shupradip. So Shupradip is a very new devotee, but all of a sudden I saw him. He just bent down and touched. I did the obeisance, but I didn't touch Maharaj's feet. But he just put down and hold 2 feet of Maharaj, grabbing 2 feet. So Maharaj sincerity makes others to bow down. And what he's writing in the article, that Maharaj lives his life and encourages others to do the same, what he has been doing. Great realization of Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is for reading. Somehow, I didn't plan to read, but somehow, I stumbled upon this, and somehow in my heart came that I should read this today. So you gave me the chance. Um, Short, simple, and very, very practical. Very practical.
Like when I see in my family, actually we see these two things are more prominent, especially the laziness. So I have to read with my other family members.
A sincere person always feels that, yes, I have room to improve, and that's how you're always taking it. It applies to everyone, and a sincere person always feels that. So thank you. Lakshya Prabhu, you have any thoughts, comments to add? Any reflections? Anything stuck you?
I understood that like we shouldn't have any ego, or like we shouldn't be proud, we shouldn't have any ego, we shouldn't be greed, like we shouldn't have any greed for anything, and we shouldn't have envy, or else we won't be able to go to Krishna.
The red door, the green door. Which door you want to go?
Green Purgy.
Green door, free and clear, right? All clear, easy. Very nice. You are such a sincere soul at the young age. Certainly, you are the future leader of ISKCON, and we're grateful for your sincerity and service role. Any comments, questions before we wrap up? Okay, so we will pause here and continue later. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम पुराण की जय, जगत गुरु श्री की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, शकलपतिरूपेश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Lakshya.